house. Just give it to my friends. Yeah.
This episode of the Opie Radio podcast sponsored by HemplandUSA.com. Experience the Hempland USA difference today with offer code OPIE, O-P-I-E, at checkout. All right, here we are at Gebhard on the Upper West Side. Why are you laughing right away, Robert?
Because I'm having fun.
We haven't even started, so you can't be having fun, right? And my guest, my friend, I shouldn't call you a guest, we're friends. Jim Florentine doesn't really like when people have fun.
Well, it depends what kind of fun it is.
Well, you think he was actually having fun just now?
I don't know. I don't know why he was having fun.
I don't either.
Because there wasn't a lot of fun before we started. We're basically just checking levels. And,
right, exactly.
yeah.
You're
After the ride I had on the subway,
Yeah.
I had to it's like nervous. I almost got into a fight on the subway.
Why?
Because this asshat had his backpack on, strapped to his shoulders while we're on a crowded train. The proper etiquette is you take that off and you hold it down so that everybody can get on the train.
was he Muslim?
No.
Oh, see,
Giant waspy
that would
white
fuck
guy.
up my ride.
No kidding.
I get off the next
kidding,
stop.
Man. That is funny.
I didn't even think of that. He could have been an Irish terrorist.
I can't listen to Subway stories because I'm kind of into this this porno where like girls have sex on like Korean subways and trains. Anyone else seen this type of porn?
I would like to see that.
It's
though.
pretty amazing. Like you're thinking like, oh my God, she can't help herself. She needs sex so bad. And she's wearing a short skirt, and supposedly the setup is that it's strangers, and she's really into it. And then in the background, because the acting is so bad, the other riders are making believe they don't notice that this girl's just getting railed on the subway or the train.
Oh, so it's not real on the train? Because sometimes they'll sneak in on the train. There'll be other people, but these are actors. Okay.
Well,
so they probably just get a whole cart and they just kind of do it.
but it almost looks like it's real.
I need it to be real.
Of course.
Yeah, that takes it like the whole stepmom and fucking and the son and stuff. I'm like, it's not real. I can't
Because they're
buy
the same
into it.
age?
No, it's just that I can't buy into it. Stepmom.
No, because no
and-
stepmom has basketballs on her chest, and the lighting's perfect, and she has all her makeup on, and oh, look what's going to happen here.
Yeah, and the kid comes home from school. I can't buy it. I need something real. At least pretend it's real.
That's why I'm into like the amateur porn.
Of course.
I'm into the voyeurism porn.
I'm into massage porn now.
What is the massage porn?
Well, you know, or like one chick's giving another girl a massage, and then they start eating each other's pussies.
And is it real?
No, but there are some where guys get jerked. You know what I mean? In the real,
Yeah.
like an Asian one.
Yeah.
So that I'd rather the two girls, like a girl's giving another girl, or a guy's giving the girl a massage.
Am I weird because I never got a happy ending massage?
I've only gotten one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I feel like me and Florentine are kind of similar. Oh. Tim Sabian has
4.5 minutes in and it's already off the rails.
Right.
What's going on, man? It's good to see you.
Because ADHD is here. What's up, ADHD? How are you, buddy? ADHD in the house. And you only got one?
Yeah, one.
Was it awful?
No, it was great, but I just was never into it. But after I got divorced, I was fucking lonely. And I cracked. There's one right by my house. It's been there for 25 years, and I finally went in.
Could you walk us
I didn't even
through
want
that?
to tell anybody either.
Really?
Like, you think I would, you know, I got friends that go,
Yeah.
you know, so I could have just called and go, hey, what's up? But I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
It was almost like the first time I masturbated. I was embarrassed. I didn't want to tell anyone, and I felt like shit the next day.
What was embarrassing about it?
Which,
The happy ending thing.
I just like, I never wanted to pay for it.
Yes, because it's weird.
Never, because it's prostitution is what it is. So it's like I never paid for a hooker either ever in my life.
I kind of need the woman to want me.
I want to be one of one.
One of one?
Yeah, my luck, she'd have man hands.
Fucking Tim.
I'm sure that's not the first time there's man hands on your penis. I just.
All right, where you going?
I gotta get.
You have to go already. All right, thank you. Good seeing you, Tim. ADHD out. ADHD out. Okay, go, Tim. Thank you. Stay down there for about 40 minutes, please. All right. I love the guy, but he can't focus on anything. This guy. What are you doing, Tim? I thought you were gone. Now you're handing out cigars.
Tim was in Cuba, is what he just said. I
Oh,
translated.
These are Cuban cigars? You know what happened to Rush Limbaugh, right? I'm not smoking a fucking cigar, but thank you for the gift. Oh, that smells really nice. Do you
Thanks, it
do you
does.
like cigars?
No.
No, I don't either.
I used to smoke them because my brother's girlfriend used to come over to watch football with us, and it was all guys, and
Yeah.
she was annoying. What happened there? You guys are loud. Why are you so angry? So I fucking get the worst cigars ever, like at the 7-Eleven, the ones that smelled the worst,
Yeah.
and just smoke her out.
And what would
within
you-
5 minutes into the first quarter, she was out,
And
she
she
couldn't
would-
take it. She goes, "Will you put that out?" I go, "No."
No, not at
That
all.
was it. So, but I never really smoked cigars. I'm not a big cigar guy.
Well, Tim had to come back upstairs to give us cigars, so
Everyone says every cigar is from Cuba. There's none that's ever been got one from America. Right. They're from Cuba. Yeah, okay.
all right, then they must be really
All
good.
of a sudden, every cigar. They used to be tough to get, right, from Cuba.
Yeah, of course.
But now everybody has them.
Well, when I used to go to Turks and Caicos, Club Med and stuff, they would set up the Cuban cigars at night. So we all were like, "Oh, Cuban cigars! My God, we have to have one." And I'm smoking this thing, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be tasting here. I have no idea. I just know my throat is really dry and my whole body's dehydrated. Congratulations, man! You're on Barstool Sports now in your podcast, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's
Have you noticed the downloads have gone up?
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Oh my God!
yeah,
We
because
got to get you on a bigger network now.
And we're in an attic, in a bar, and he's at Barstool Sports.
Yeah, and definitely more. There's a whole other fan base there. A lot
Yeah.
of young kids and stuff like that. Not everyone's going to like it, but I'm sure there's going to be a ton that will.
No, you're going to grab some new fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So, and it's still the same thing. People
Right.
could still get it at the same spot. The people I used to listen to, it's
Yeah.
just on that platform now. So
And it's all about everything you dislike.
yeah, every week.
Vanity
yeah.
plates,
yeah,
and
whatever
Facebook
it is. Yeah,
posts,
yeah.
and Yelp reviews.
Yelp reviews, Facebook corny
Yeah.
sayings, slang words,
I was
baby names.
I was thinking about you recently. That's why I asked you to do the podcast. So my kids are at that point; they want a dog. Well, in New York, these people have dogs, and I see them. They have to socialize with each other because they have dogs. And I was thinking right away, Florentine would hate this.
Yeah, well, yeah, there was a thing in near me in Asbury Park, New Jersey.
Yeah.
This bar and outside, everyone brings their dogs there,
Yeah.
and they would have it like from 4 to 6 on I don't know whatever day it was on Fridays.
Yeah.
They called it Yappy Hour.
Come on.
I almost killed my dog just because of that.
Right.
Yeah, so everyone goes there with their dog and
Yeah.
you can have beers and whatever.
And they all think it's cute.
Yeah,
and
it's all think
fun.
it's cute. Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
go to Yappy Hour?
No, I wouldn't. I would never
what-
set foot in there for one
But
second.
maybe that's why your dog died. He was sad.
No,
because he didn't get to go to Yappy
They don't want to
Hour.
hang out with other dogs. My dog used to hang out with Otto's dog.
Yes.
They were both Yorkies, so they'd hang out together.
Nice.
Otto and his girl used to watch my dog. Was on the road, so they would hang. That's fine.
Yeah.
My dog's just like I'm a loner. I don't want to be around other dogs.
Right. Well,
so.
in New York, I'm like, wait, so now we have to have a conversation because my dog just licked your dog's asshole, so now we have to have small talk? I don't know how I'm going to be a dog owner in New York City.
You just go, you know what? You just go, yeah, I know, your dog, my dog does that? Yeah, same with mine. All right, yeah.
No,
you
but
just walk
Yeah,
away.
but if you're on your phone, you can totally, just like everybody else,
No,
any
you-
other social
You
interaction.
see it. Everyone's like, oh, fuck, this guy's got a dog and I got a dog. And then there's some unwritten, rule that we now have to talk with each other.
I think it's a better pickup move than it is just general socialization.
I was telling my wife that. Like,
Because it depends. Are you going to walk it like in Central Park, or are you going to walk? Would you walk the dog on the sidewalk and just pick up the shit there?
well, I don't want to be a shit picker upper either.
So then, what are you going to do?
I don't know.
The kids are into it for like 2 days, and then they're onto something else.
That's the problem. And Weeze was
Yeah.
trying to tell me that wasn't the case because you get a dog, the first weekend, they're all about it, like, oh, my God, I'll take a walk with them. And then next thing you know, it's 15 degrees out and freezing, and they're not walking the dog anymore. They
So
don't
this
care.
is a
They
great,
moved on to
this
the
is
next
a great
thing.
Opie Radio business adventure.
Yeah.
Rent the dog for 2 weeks, and then when the kid grows tired of it, You just give it back, and then the dog goes to. It's like
I
fostering.
don't know if you can rent them. Can you rent them? Because
No, I'm saying we invent this. It's like
I
fostering.
ain't renting someone's dog with their stupid problems. I want a fresh dog.
But think about the people who
I'm
will
not
fall
a fan
for
of
this.
people that rescue dogs
were-
and then bring this
Yeah.
this serial killer home into your house.
You don't have to like it, but somebody else will. Some other dope will fall for
I
it.
just pissed off the dog people. Because I guess if you rescue a dog, you're like a saint on earth.
Yeah, but what, you know,
Yeah, but I did that.
no,
but I
you want to
didn't
get a
feel-
fresh one. Fuck that.
You
Renting
wanna
them
get a
because,
fresh
because
one.
you rescue them because you don't know what damage
Right.
that person. It's almost like picking up a stripper. There's going to be there's going to be a damage past.
That
There's going
explains
to be
so much about the last 10 years of my life.
It's true. There's going to be
been
emotional
strippers and
damage
rescue
with that
dogs.
dog.
Exactly.
So you don't want a stripper. Strippers, you want to rent the dog and like your business. Rent the rescue dog for 2 weeks. A
Yeah.
stripper's fun for 2 weeks, but then after that,
Then
the
all of a
dog's got
sudden you're
emotional
like-
issues.
Why is there $10,000 charged to my credit card? Why is there a giant dent in my car? Right?
Yeah, exactly. Why is there glitter all over the apartment?
Right. There seems to be footprints of other guys in my house. What's going on while I'm on the road? Is it fun or a nightmare to be single in this day and age? And at
It's
your
fun.
age, it's all right.
Yeah.
You having a good time with it?
I'm in a major slump.
Really?
Yeah, probably like 3 months.
Yeah, that's a big
Something's
slump.
got to blow. Something's got to.
You might have to go back to that happy ending. place.
I know. I might have to.
So the dog thing, yeah, I don't want to be one of these dog owners that have to pick up my own poo. And when I talk about this on the podcast, people are amazed by this. So I guess there's a lot of people that listen to this that aren't in big cities like New York City. Like all day long, you'll see dog owners in really nice clothes bending down with a baggie on their hand to pick up their own dog's poo.
And on a sidewalk with people walking by 100 miles an hour.
Right.
Because as soon as you get the dog out, if the dog's got to go, the dog is going right on the sidewalk.
Right.
And the owner is not nice enough to go, oh, wait, my dog could poop on the sidewalk, or 3 feet away is the actual gutter. They will not move their dog to the gutter because I guess the dog is special or something.
Well, my dog was little. It was 6 pounds, so we had those pads on the floor.
Oh, you did
So,
that?
yeah, so
Nice.
that was good. So in the middle of the night, if she had to go, she would just go on the pad,
Yeah.
walk out, whatever. So that was good. If you have in New York, that could help. But then also you got to be back in like 8 hours.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can never leave for the weekend. You have to bring the dog with you.
Right.
If you and your wife want to go down to Philly or whatever for the weekend,
Yeah.
then you got to bring the dog. You can't leave it there. You got to be back in 9 hours.
Yeah. Well, I just got fish. Tropical
Fish is cool, but fish is easier to take
you like
care of.
fish, at
I got
least?
no problem with fish.
Have you ever had tropical fish?
No, I never did, but I was always thinking about getting the fish tank, and then I'm like, fuck, I don't want to feed them.
Why don't you want to feed them?
I do want to feed
it's
them, but
one
it's a
pinch
chore.
every day.
I know.
It's really
but then if I'm
easy.
away for like 3 or 4 days,
Well, that's my problem because I split my time, so I don't know what the hell's going to happen with this fish tank when fishing season starts.
can you just dump the whole box in and let them just, let them eat it when they want?
Probably. And we went to
I'm
the,
sure they got a thing where it releases it like every
A time
few
thing,
hours or
right?
whatever, a time thing.
Yeah.
They do that with the dog food. They got that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, actually, my father-in-law, they were down in Philly while I was visiting Brother Weeze in Fort Lauderdale, and they came back with this thing that you just drop in the tank, and they nibble off it for 3 days. It's good
Oh, really?
for 3 days, so I'm kind of happy about that
Yeah.
part of it. But we went to the fish store, and we wanted to start with 2 little fish and just get the tank going, right? We got a nice 29-gallon tank. They gave us a pregnant fish, and 3 hours after we put it in our fish tank, it had, 40 to 60 babies.
Really?
And then we decided to save some and then leave the rest for nature to do its thing. So now I got a fish tank with I don't know, close to 20 fish.
You've a
It's
school.
already out of control. Yes.
Nah, I don't know. That's cool. What did the other what happened to the other fish? They ate them?
Yeah, they ate them because I guess I wasn't feeding them enough. And they were trying to hide under rocks and plants and stuff, but one by one they're gone.
And you don't have video of this? This would have been awesome.
Really?
Sure.
I don't know,
Can you
but
do your Richard Attenborough impression?
I just want to know, how does a fish know once it's born from the mom how to swim? How the fuck does it know what to do?
oh, you want to go deep?
No, I don't know.
Let's go deep with
I
that
never
shit.
understood that.
I don't either.
Nature is
Like my dog, my dog was like 2 months old. We were at my brother's house. He had a pool in the backyard, and I put the dog down. She ran right to the pool,
Yeah.
went in the water, jumped in the water, and then swam to the front.
Yeah.
I jumped in after, and she swam right to the front end
Yeah.
went to the steps and got out.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the fuck taught you that?
That's that nature shit. Like when a giraffe's born, within minutes it's already running around like a lunatic. It's like, Humans are the only ones that aren't fully developed when they're born. Did
Yeah.
you know that? They need the mom or they're
Right.
fucked. Every other animal pretty much could survive.
It's
Maybe,
amazing.
maybe not the baby birds in the nest, but most
Right.
creatures, they're born and they lick that goo off their own bodies, and then next thing you know, they're part of a tribe.
I
should
kids
say
were
a
like
herd.
that, you know what I mean?
It'd
So
be
they don't
so
have to
much
teach
easier.
them to walk
Yeah,
or
yeah,
shit.
yeah. So
You
I
know.
don't know, but
Well, the problem with the dog is, so his son, he's probably at an age where he's every 6 months he's into something else. My kid's like that too.
Yeah, of course.
So then all of a sudden he's going to be into basketball, and he's going to want to go to the basketball court with his friends and go shoot hoops and
Yeah.
not care about the dog.
yeah. Well, we learned. I started with hermit crabs, nice and easy, from the Jersey Shore with the painted shells.
Yeah.
And I they were feeding them for the first. They might have lasted 2 days. The next thing you know, it's my responsibility. And then they're climbing out of the tiny little fish tank that we had for them. They're bouncing on the floor with their giant shells because they just want to escape. And then they're hiding somewhere in my apartment. We had to search for the hermit crabs. They died because they didn't take care of them. And then we had some kind of gerbil thing. So
What happened to the gerbil? You put it somewhere?
Escaped a little Alcatraz run.
I spent a lot of time, away from the house, but I thought they had enough water and food, and we came back after a couple weeks, and the one was stiff as you could see it's leaning toward the water dish.
Oh, really?
And that's how it died. It was still kind of standing.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you put it in your ass.
And then we had to make believe that they didn't really die because my kids were a little young at the time.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
had to take them out and put them down you put them down the garbage chute, right?
The garbage chute, yeah.
When do you not put your animals down a garbage chute?
Never. You put a body down it too if you have to.
What about
no,
a
but you have
dog?
to. No, the dog you can't.
That's what I mean.
That'll make a noise.
So cats and dogs don't go down the garbage chute, but everything else
Yeah, the
probably
little
does.
I don't know. Rabbit, I'd probably not either.
Probably.
Because the gerbil's about as big as a mouse or a rat. So
Yeah. Oh, this is what I want to say about the fish. So, the mom gives birth to her babies
Right.
and immediately starts eating them. That's some twisted shit.
Really?
Yes. Like, there's no acknowledgement that these babies were living inside her and then maybe she should nurture them a little bit. As soon as they were born, all she's thinking is, yay, food.
That's weird because usually they protect their own. You know what I mean?
Fish? I don't know.
Well, I don't know what most animals do when they're
Yeah.
born. The mom protects them, so you would
Yeah.
protect them from other fish eating them.
But not these fish, so we had to get in there immediately.
Well, maybe she thought, look, I just gave birth to 40. I could kill 20. You know what I mean? I
She was
don't want
spinning the
40
herd,
kids. I'm
right.
not the fucking octomom of fish. 20's good enough. I don't want to take care of 40.
I don't need 40. That's a good point. Grillo in the house from the Howard Stern Show and now doing his own podcast. Very successful.
Yeah, I want to say it's finally nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've heard a lot of good things about you. I always got annoyed. Here's one story I can tell you. I always got annoyed. When I worked on Howard Stern, he was always bitching about people censoring him. And the FCC and how people said he couldn't say this or he couldn't say that. Tom Chiasano always being on the button. I heard that you guys were actually on the air and attributing to your success to him, and he still had
no!
Well, no, I'm just saying. I'm saying you guys will acknowledge the fact that you listened to him before you guys started. Well, didn't somebody do that?
I think Anthony later on, after we were no longer doing the show together, said that. No,
Okay,
I
well,
I
that's
never.
all I heard. Well,
I
not
respect
you
what Howard
personally.
did in the business, but I never. No, I don't contribute my
but
success to him at
it
all.
It annoyed me to no end that he had the balls to actually censor you guys to not use his name. Is that what happened?
Oh yeah, I just told that story on Brother Weeze's show.
But like the man who stood there and put his face and his life out there to be the poster person
Yeah.
for freedom of speech
Yeah.
was denying you your freedom of speech.
Yeah, because that was when we were on regular radio, and oh wow, Florentine has left the building.
No, I'm right here. I'm listening.
No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm going to talk about it in a second.
Oh, really?
No, but I'm just saying that
Well-
that annoyed me, and it made me root for you guys.
Well, let me tell you the
considering
story.
I'm an alumni.
So we were working for the same company, and there was a lot of things Howard does that we made fun of because it was fun and it was comedy and it was entertaining and all that.
Which is what he did.
Yeah, and
his whole career.
what happened was he threw a hissy fit behind the scenes. He was always throwing hissy fits behind the scenes, never out front. And then word came down to the guys that were on the dump buttons that they have to dump out every time we mention Howard Stern. So then we got clever, like, all right, let's just come up with nicknames. And we went to the phones and people came up with nicknames. And then they started dumping out of all the nicknames. One of the most famous ones was Radio Edit, we would call him.
Okay.
And then they were like, nope, you can't say radio edit anymore. So, and then they had a whole list in the dump room. If they say Howard Stern, if they say radio edit, if
Was
they
it
say this.
Big Bird?
Big Bird was on that list. Yes, exactly. But
Private Parts reference.
what are you going to do, though, right?
Yeah, and
He's a billionaire, and we're in a fucking bar on the Upper West Side, so he's doing something right.
It made me root for you guys. You know
Oh,
what I'm
thank you,
saying?
buddy.
And I was just like, who is he to tell anybody what they can and cannot say?
Well, he was kind of hypocritical, to be honest with you, because a lot of his battles he fought behind the scenes.
Yeah.
When we went on Letterman and had a really good appearance, and then he called in a favor and said, please don't ever have those guys on again. You know I've been loyal to you, and I'm asking you for this favor. You know, stuff like that. But he would never say it on his radio show. Then I have to find out years later from mutual friends that this shit was going on.
Now, Jimmy, you were kind of intimate with the show when all this was going down, no?
Well, me and Jim Norton were living together at the time.
Yeah.
And Jim started going on Opie and Anthony. Dice brought him on. And then Jim brought me on a couple times. So, and then I got an offer to go on the Stern Show one day. This is after Jackie left when they're having different guys go in. And I remember texting Opie. I said, Opie, listen, I said, I got an opportunity to go on Howard Stern. He's playing my telemarketer CD. Where you go for it, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
Have a good time, man. Hope it works out for you. Like, he wasn't mad at all, but I wanted to let him know, hey, I got an opportunity to go on there. And he said, fine. I didn't know if it was going to be a one-time thing or whatever. And then he took a liking to me. So then I started going on that show. You obviously couldn't do both shows at the same time.
No.
But
that was on. Sorry, I got to jump in. That was on him more than us. We never told anyone, do not do that show, or we can't have you on anymore. But it got back to us over the years. If you're doing the Howard Stern show, you can't really do Opie and Anthony anymore.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, but
and it was never really said to you guys.
it
was
was never said.
It was
Absolutely
sort
not,
of, but it was hinted at, right?
Right, but yeah, I mean,
Alluded to, like, because I heard.
No one ever said that. But I just said, because that was when the feud really was heating up.
Oh, it was fun.
And me and Jim were living together, and Jim's the sidekick on Opie and Anthony. I'm going on. I'm sitting in like one day a week, 2 days. I'm like, oh shit. And me and Jim like, look, man, I just want to fucking.
I just
live
want a
in some
payday.
Shithole in New Jersey.
Right,
Hey, man, we're just trying to sell tickets. And Jim-
Doing movies like White Chicks Incorporated.
The one thing, when you and Jim Norton were living together, you guys just wanted out of that apartment because it was terrible with the black mold.
Oh yeah,
and
the black mold and all
we
that
haven't
shit.
talked about that in a long time.
Where was it?
It was
Everywhere.
It was in Cliffside Park, New Jersey.
Oh, I thought you
the
meant
mold
where
was
was-
all over the walls
Yeah.
and everything. In my bedroom, I put tinfoil on the walls.
Yeah.
Me and my girlfriend put tin because there was mold growing on the walls and it was laying right against the bed. So we just put tinfoil.
Yeah.
Because the landlord would never come by. We were paying what I think it was $800 a month for 3 people living there.
Yeah.
So splitting the rent 3 ways, $800 a month.
But the whole
2-bedroom.
apartment was leaking and
Yeah, it was
black
disgusting.
mold. And did you have rats?
No rats.
No critters.
No, nothing.
Nice.
No rats, just
we were
Jim-
upstairs.
just Jim
I think
Norton.
maybe they went downstairs.
Look at Grillo trying to start shit.
But it was weird though. This major feud's going on between the 2 biggest radio shows in the country.
Yeah.
And me and Jim are
Living in hovel.
we're just like,
Just
hey, man,
hoping
I
it-
don't want to say anything. And I think I was always nervous that I was going to get trashed on the Opie and Anthony show for going on Stern.
No.
But I was like, all right, they those guys like me over there. I didn't really do. I was just hoping. I'm like, I don't want to. And all my friends were going on.
Yeah,
Opie
yeah.
and Anthony, Boss, and all.
No,
these
we
guys.
understood all that.
But
You did the
Patrice,
respectful thing, though. You said, yo, is it cool? Like, you didn't just do it behind their back.
No, I didn't. And if Opie would have said, "Hey, dude, I love you to be on our show and just come on our show all the time," I probably would have went that way. But
The funny thing is, I mean, I don't know if the hardcore fans remember, but you were really close to being a regular because it was like it was me and Ant, it was Norton, and you were doing a lot of our gigs with us.
Oh, right, yeah, 'cause I
but we
did
just
some
didn't have
live
an
events.
official spot for you, unfortunately. And
Right.
then the Howard Stern thing came about, and I gave my blessing, of course.
yeah, no, you did, but it was definitely. We didn't want to get in the middle of it, us too, over that stuff.
Yeah, well, that's a smart thing.
And then if I went and I would show up in Opie and Anthony appearance, people like, oh, you on the Stern show. So it got a little weird, but it worked out for everybody. All the people, all the comics
Yeah.
on Opie and Anthony got huge. I mean that audience was a bigger comedy audience
Yeah.
for comedians.
I think our audience back then appreciated comedy more than Howard's audience.
We would
until
sell a
Artie
lot
came
of
around.
tickets.
Artie certainly helped that years afterwards. But at first, I think we had the comedy fans that really would sit there and really appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
I believe
I
that.
noticed that after when I started going on Opie's show later, probably like 2000. 2010, I noticed. I tell you all the time. I go, man, I'm selling a lot more tickets. On that show, because all of a sudden that audience started coming to see me. They weren't necessarily seeing me when I was on Howard's show.
That was sort of started that started the burnout anyway, wasn't it?
What?
Like right towards that point, like he started that. Like it's like after the Beth, he started sort of like changing the way he conducted the show and shit like that. Like he went from Howard Stern to not Howard Stern.
How do you guys feel? And you don't have to answer any of these questions, but if you want to, that's fine. How do you feel about Howard trying to change history, trying to say that he never said the N-word and all this horse shit?
He can't change history. You just go to YouTube. Look,
That's what everyone's saying. Like, you can't deny that you didn't have and say the N-word on your show.
Like he said it, like in the movie Private Parts. Well, you say it through a character. So that's what he did.
Oh,
You know what I'm
really?
saying? If you go back and watch Private Parts, and it was like, well, you can't say it, but I gotta say it through a character. He came up with that. Oh, now looky here. And he played like Clarence Thomas, or he played someone else, or even going further, he'd call up the KKK guy and have him say it. So it was.
I've went through a lot of change in my life, but I don't regret anything I've done on my radio show. For the most part, I mean, if I really sat down and thought about it, and people ask me a lot of
why would you
questions,
do that?
there might be a few things I do regret, maybe.
Yeah.
But I embrace that I've changed, and I also embrace what I used to do. And for some reason, he's gone through a lot of change, but he wants to make believe a lot of that stuff never happened to him.
Well, look who he's hanging out with. He's with Ellen DeGeneres. He's with Rosie O'Donnell. He's with
God.
everybody he
God
used to
damn
bash
it.
and make fun of.
Right.
So it makes it easier for them to accept him.
Jennifer Aniston,
forgetting about all
and her
those
smelly
crap.
pussy.
Yeah. Does she have a candle out too?
Oh God, it would smell like the East
you think
River.
it
Has
smells?
anybody just gone and just tried to have and smell that candle? I'm
Do you
curious.
think it smells though? No, that's Gwyneth Paltrow.
I know it's Gwyneth Paltrow,
And she's a billionaire, basically,
Yeah.
from all that goop shit.
she-
My theory is that Jennifer Aniston can't keep a man because her pussy smells.
It's
Think
gotta be
about it.
something.
Think
It's gotta be
about it.
something.
well, she has a vagina, so she must be crazy. That's another theory.
Well, there you go.
No, but I mean, she's still at 50. She's still hot. She looks like she's 28
That's
years old.
why it
No,
something
she's
doesn't.
got great
she's still
boobs, great
perfect.
legs, a
That's
butt.
not aged one day.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why something doesn't make sense there.
There's
my,
something going on.
My theory, because I had one girl. Did you ever have a girl?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've had more than one girl, but I mean, I had one girl.
Was
that
consistently?
had the smell was unbelievable, and I tried everything to scrub it off my 2 fingers.
Yeah.
I go 2 fingers.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I wasn't an animal back then.
upside
I only
down
started
or
working
sideways?
I only started working the thumb in a little later in my my dating life. But,
I haven't gotten a smelly one in a long
No,
time.
not since I was 15.
Yeah, I
and
think-
I was 15, and the first time I realized that it could smell like that, I went using my fingers, and then we took a little break, and then I wound up giving her a hug, and my hands wrapped around, and I got a whiff of my 2 fingers, and I almost threw up down the girl's back. It was that bad. I just
well, with me it was
Go
one.
with her after that.
fuck yeah, I did. She had like double D's. She was 15.
What was this last year?
Yeah, no asshole.
Here, did you ever have one that smelled so bad that it just stays on your fingers as slime?
but not in years.
No,
Right now, I remember having one that was bad. Yeah, and I was just, I was doing it from behind. I had my shirt over my nose.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like I was robbing a bank.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Isn't that what the Cranberry song "Lingers" about?
There's Robert. Robert's back on the podcast. I've told a story though. It was really early on when I didn't have a lot of experience because of a strict household and stuff.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought all girls smelled like that down there.
Well, because he used to have a lot of hair down there too. So
All
that.
that.
Didn't help. That didn't help.
It didn't help at
That
all,
keeps
right?
the smell in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that made it just smell like a wet basement. That wasn't that bad. You know what I mean?
I didn't like that one either. I think they've learned over the years how to clean it. That's what it seems like. Because I haven't had one in probably 20, 25 years. I haven't had a smelly one.
You know what? Going back to fish tanks. It's the same thing. Trying to keep all the pH levels and everything just right in a fish tank. That's what women are dealing with
That's true.
every
You
day
know,
of their
yeah.
lives.
And 25 years ago, fish would die all the time. People
Yeah.
didn't know how to clean their tanks.
Yeah.
And now they do.
But now they got the same like
Better
kits.
living through science.
Right, exactly. All right, we got to take a moment to talk about our new sponsor to the Opie Radio podcast. I'm talking about HemplandUSA.com, promo code Opie. Robert, are you on the CBD?
You know, I am on the CBD, and you know how I actually moved from buying things in a little bodega?
Yeah.
When you did this, when you talked about it with Brother Weeze a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Absolutely. I signed up. I went to HemplandUSA.com
Yeah.
with the promo code OPIE, OPIE, And I got to tell you, I love this ECS 5.
Wait, you know about the ECS 5?
This
Most
is the power of advertising right here.
Yeah.
No, tell me, remind me again. It's this extract. They put a bunch of things together.
Yeah, they do, Robert. They sure do. It contains, I don't know what's in it officially, so I do have to look down. I'm not going to fake this, but I'll tell you this much. I've been on the ECS 5, and I'm thinking clearer, believe it or not, and I have a bit more energy, but it contains a unique blend of black pepper, clove, hops, rosemary, jujube.
Yeah, it's great. The energy thing for me, that was the big thing. Like I get in this slump around 3, 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I do the tincture. I'm good to go.
Wait, I was trying to figure out what a tincture is.
So, it comes out a little jar.
Yeah.
So a tincture, it's like an eyedropper.
That's what the tincture is?
Yes, it's a fancy word for eyedropper.
Well, why don't they just say eye drop?
Because tincture is it's a fancy word.
I thought it was a fancy word for like other things they have. Here's some tinctures. Well, I got to talk to the people at Hempland USA because that threw me off a lot because I was trying to figure out what that was. Because they have other CBD products, obviously, at hemplandusa.com, promo code Opie. But they're really pushing the ECS 5, and I really do notice a difference when I take the stuff. So
No, I'm really glad that you talked about it a couple weeks ago because I was having a bad CBD experience.
Yeah.
And it was, like fate.
They also have soft gels, THC, free products, topicals, and a canine formula to meet the needs of your entire family. So you can get your dog on the CBD. Is that what they're getting at?
Oh, yeah. It will totally keep a dog, like, calm. You don't have to give a dog Benadryl.
Right. So when a thunderstorm's coming in, you could give your dog CBD, maybe?
Absolutely.
All right. You can take 20% off on your next order at hemplandusa.com. Use the promo code OPIE, O-P-I-E, at checkout. It's Hempland USA's mission to help everyone feel their very best, and they're so confident that you'll love the products. They offer a 100% lifetime satisfaction guarantee. Experience it for yourself. It's hemplandusa.com. And use the promo code OPIE, O-P-I-E, at checkout for 25% off. Thank you, hemplandusa.com. All right, where were we before? The Grillo gave us good stuff, though. Do you talk to Robin ever?
No. I mean, I'm really hanging in circles where she hangs.
That was the weirdest thing.
But
because
I emailed her a couple of years ago. We emailed about.
She's a
when,
very
when
nice
she was
lady.
sick.
She was always nice to me. But
Yeah.
But that was the other thing, because now you're bringing back memories. So you sort of start on our show, then you move over to Howard's show, and then also I'm like, what the fuck? He's dating Robin Quivers. It was, and we would see at rock shows, and it was just insane.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You
We
were
saw-
like
yeah.
royalty because you were dating her.
That was weird. Yeah. Well, look, I just I asked her out in the air as a joke.
That's how it
Well,
started.
it wasn't a joke, but like
Were you sort of attracted to her at the time, or were you all confused
Yeah, I was,
because of
'cause I-
what was
I-
going
I
on in your
like black
personal life?
women.
So wait, as a dare, you asked her out.
Well, I think we were just talking. I was single again or whatever, and Howard said on the air, he goes, "You're single, Jim, right? And Robin, you're single. Why don't you guys go out?"
Yeah.
And that's how it started. And then she was like, "Oh, please!" And then just a ball bust, and that went on.
Yeah.
I said, "Look, I live in Jersey. I hang out with guys that piss in a Gatorade bottle in the car, and we pass it around, whatever." And then finally, after like an hour, she's like, "All right, fine. I'll go out with him." I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
Oh my God, I never thought that would happen. I would have never asked her out because I would have been like, man, I'm crossing the line.
Yeah.
Like if I did that, and you know what I mean, and she's like, oh my God, this fucking guy's freaking me out. He's asking me out. That's,
Right.
He crossed the, and then we just went out, and then it lasted, I don't know, like 7-8 months.
It lasted a long time. So
Yeah, it
obviously,
was about 7-8 months. Yeah,
so obviously something was working there.
it was, but then doing morning radio, man,
Right.
It was just the schedules.
What brute? Was
Yeah, because
brutal.
I got weekends off, and that's when I work. And she was going to bed at like 9:30 at night, and I'm out doing shows till like midnight, just before I even had a kid or anything. So,
Yeah. Did you have sex with her the first night?
no,
You
no,
smiled.
we were friends for a while.
You smiled.
No, we were friends for a while because
Yeah.
she was like, I don't know, this guy comes as a guest on the show, probably. I don't know what was going through her head, but no, we just got to know each other for a while.
Yeah.
And I just got out of something awful, and she just got out of a long relationship, so we're just
So
kind of hanging.
it kind of worked for the time. I have nothing
Fun.
bad to say about Robin. She lives in my neighborhood, and I see her from time to time, and she was always cool. And
Yeah.
one day I helped her with her groceries. Literally, she had all these bags, and I walked with her. And from time to time I would see her. What drove me nuts was like she was really nice to me, really nice. And then on the show, she'd play right into that garbage. Those two down the hall, and Opie and I'm like,
Right.
I know the real you. Like, you don't have to do this, you know?
Well,
I
didn't
always
you guys
hated that.
Did you guys have an incident with Artie one time too?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Was like something like he was saying something about you guys on the air.
Yeah,
too,
oh,
and I'm
yeah.
sure he reached.
No,
he
what
liked-
happened was, so, oh, wow. Yeah, I haven't told the story in a while. It's a good one, too. So, me and Artie and you, obviously, we all know the same fucking people. We all hang in that circle. Me, not as much these days, but back in the day. And Artie was always incredibly nice to me. And he was working on Howard's show, and we'd, you know, during breaks, everyone just runs to the bathrooms. You know, for me, it was taking leaks. For him, it might have been something different, especially back then.
Yeah.
All right? But we'd meet not meet, but we'd see each other in the bathrooms and in the hallways. And, hey, oh, what's going on? How's everything? And, you know, all that stuff, you know, the Artie stuff. But then he would go on the show and, you know, he would play the part for Howard. Like, those fucking, you know, copycatters, those hacks and all that stuff. And then, you know, then in the hallway, hey, oh, what's going on? And after a while, it started eating away at me. And so one day, he's in the hall and he's like, hey, oh, what's going on? You know, what's up, you know? And I go, fuck you, Artie, don't say, hey, what's up, you know? Because I hear all the stuff you're saying on the radio. Which guy's the real guy? And all of a sudden he goes, you want to go?
Really? Is that what he did?
So we're in the hallway, and now we're in each other's face, yelling and screaming. And then all of a sudden I see the, you know, Howard's door at Sirius XM. That opens up, and that's when they were still filming the TV, the radio show,
Yeah.
when they had that whole crew there. For E, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
They come running out, like 2 cameras, and boy Gary, and they're running down the hall with their cameras on to capture this fight. And I'm thinking to myself, I wasn't scared of Artie at the time, but I'm thinking, I know if me and Artie are in a fight in the hallway, I will be the one that gets fired over this, not Artie.
Yeah.
Because, you know, as much as we were doing very well, Howard's show was bigger. I have to accept that. So, and I kind of didn't really want to fight, so long story short, I backed down. I was like, you know, as the cameras are still following me down the hall, I'm like, there's nothing to see here, you know. I said what I had to say, and I went back into our studio and continued the show, and it became, you know, a big thing. And then years later, I mean, you know, me and Artie are beyond cool. He ended up doing the radio show after, you know, he left Howard and all that. So, but I always hated that fake shit. I was always the guy, you know, I'm not gonna like say you're a piece of shit on the radio show and then like pat your back and go, hey, what's going on, man? You know, off air. So I don't know. That was just my style.
Well, it's real. You were real. You didn't do a lot of characters.
No, not at all.
Or if they were fake characters and they weren't picking on real people.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, one of the differences between the two programs.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how's your son?
He's great, man.
Yeah, me and Florentine have sons about the same age. He's around 10 or close, right?
Yeah, he's like 9.5 right
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Yeah.
That we're
10 in August.
Yeah, my son's got you beat by only a couple months. So, are you doing the big birthday party for 10?
I didn't even think about it.
I think we're feeling pressure living in New York City because all these other kids are like, oh, what are you doing for his 10th? I'm like, I don't know, getting pizza. Is that okay?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even.
Okay, good.
2 years ago, he was in the he was in the wrestling.
Right.
And I got this like independent wrestling. You know those wrestling companies they have the match at like the local high school.
Right.
Yeah.
I hired a company. They came and they set the ring up on my front lawn.
No.
And they did 2 hours of match. They brought 16 wrestlers and a ref.
Holy cow.
And they did it right on my front lawn.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and all of his friends hung out. I had everybody over, all the neighbors. I got a food truck to park right on my driveway.
Right.
And at the end, he pinned like the bad guy. They had him come in. The
Oh,
ring.
nice.
He gave him an elbow and he pinned the bad guy. So I don't know how I could top that one.
Yeah, but now he's not into wrestling?
He's not in the wrestling anymore at all. He doesn't even watch it. Nothing. He was fascinated by it. He would go back and watch the old matches from the 80s to 70s.
Yeah.
On the WWE channel. Now he doesn't even acknowledge it. He didn't like that there was too many women wrestling.
Oh, really?
All of his friends, too many women
Yeah,
matches.
that became a thing, right?
Yeah, pushing too much of the women shit. You know, it'd start the Monday Night Raw, 15, 20 minutes of girls talking in the ring. It's like,
Maybe he's
for
better.
an 8-year-old boy, it's like, I'm not that attracted to him yet.
Right.
And it's like,
Right.
this is fucking boring. I want to see just
Well,
a bunch of men fight.
and you
so
and-
that really turned him off.
And you and him had something in common with the wrestling.
I always said I was never going to get him in the wrestling because I had to kiss some guy for some wrestling pictures when I was younger. I had to sit on his lap and he nibbled on my ear. And I always said that's one thing I won't do for him. But of course, as soon as he liked it.
But the seats were great.
I was
The
in the front
seats
row.
were great.
I was in the front row.
I mean, I think I'd be conflicted.
I was in the nosebleed seats. The guy came up the nosebleeds in between a match. He goes, "Hey, I'm in the front row if you want to come down." And I'm like, "Yeah, I would love to." He was a wrestling photographer, so he was always in the front. I went down there, and there was, me and my friend went down there. He goes, "I got a couple seats." We go down there, and there's only 2 seats. I go, "What's going on?" He goes, "Yeah, there's only 2." I go, "Well," he goes, "Someone's going to have to sit on my lap." I'm like, "What?" And I'm 14. I should have known better. I'm like, "Sit on your lap." My friend jumped in the other seat, and then I saw Andre coming out. They started announcing. I'm like, "Fuck this. All right, I'm on your lap."
I'm
I
on your
sat on
right
his
knee,
lap.
no problem. Yeah, I don't know if you ever told me you were 14. I was
Yeah, I
thinking,
was 14.
I was
should've-
thinking 10 or 11.
No, I should have probably known better.
14, I think you should have.
All right, so I've got a question. So you have a 10-year-old boy. Obviously, you're a big music head. Are you trying to, have you paid attention to what your son is listening to? And are you trying to course correct any crap that a 10-year-old might be listening to?
Oh, yeah,
or
he-
did he just come out of the womb into metal? And that
No,
was it?
he has no choice but to listen to metal. I've been
Okay.
playing in the back seat, driving around. He's been to 19 concerts so far.
19
He's
is
seen
up
Black
to.
Sabbath. He's seen Ozzy solo. He's met Black Sabbath. He's seen Slipknot twice. He's seen Marilyn Manson. He loves it. Yeah, he takes music lessons. So he even like that new Post Malone song with Ozzy singing.
Yeah, sure.
He only likes the part when Ozzy sings.
No kidding.
Yeah, he's like, this rap stuff's terrible. He goes, but I like when Ozzy sings. Yeah.
He's a rarity, man.
Yeah, no, he knows. In like the Super Bowl halftime show, he wouldn't even acknowledge.
No.
No, he would be like, I'm not watching
Because of
that crap.
Shakira and J-Lo and
Yeah, he
everyone's
doesn't
uptight.
like any of that stuff. Like,
Everyone's uptight because there was a lot of skin. Who cares?
yeah, I know.
It was Miami.
What? No, it's more like, what about the children? And I know Florentine thinks like I do. I'm like, what about the children? If my kid wants to watch this, fine. And then maybe I'll explain some shit. I'm not worried
There's
about
really
what-
nothing to explain either.
We curse.
That's all other people's being that's adults being uptight.
Well, I don't
and
want to be.
prudish.
I don't want to be an uptight parent. We curse in our household just because it comes out naturally, and to the point where our kids
Go
are
the fuck to bed.
Well, no, and then our kids are like, stop cursing, and then I explain to them. I don't know how you feel with this, but you certainly could jump in. I tell them, I'm like, I don't care if you hear curses. I go, but if you do curse, you're going to get in trouble because people are not going to allow that. I don't
Yeah.
want them cursing in my household and all that, but I'm not going to be one of these parents that are like, oh my God, he just said a curse. We got to find a therapist.
No, look, as long as he doesn't do it in school,
Right.
or he
No, no.
knows the places where he can do it. You know what I mean? Whether you say you can't curse here or anything, or don't curse in the house, he's going to have that one friend. He's going to go over to the house. The kid's going to be cursing the whole time. He's going to know
Yeah.
every curse word.
Yeah, I
So
was.
you're never going to stop that. Who cares if a 10-year-old says the word fuck? It doesn't, as long as he doesn't do it in class. Yeah, well, that could be a
Hey,
problem.
Matt from Gebhard, how are you, buddy? Thanks for having us. What's going on? Really
Nice to see
fast.
you guys. How are you?
I haven't officially announced it, but we talked about it on Twitter a little bit and my Facebook group. But basically, Matt from Gebhard's here on the Upper West Side has the Carl now in honor of our pal Carl Ruiz. And it's a
it's,
shot at Jim Beam and what?
Shot of Jim Beam and an old Rasputin Imperial Stout.
And a few fans have come by to have one.
Yeah, we've seen a few guys coming out for
Which
that,
is very
so
nice of you. I
it's-
really appreciate
Oh,
that.
it's our pleasure,
to keep
man.
Carl's name alive. So
sure.
Yeah. We're talking about, do you have kids? I don't know if I ever asked you that.
I don't think so.
Oh, you don't think so? Yeah, sometimes I wonder if I might have an extra one out there.
An extra.
They probably would have came forward by now.
That's
though.
what I think. I'm like,
I don't
Yeah.
know. I've heard some of his stuff. I don't know if they.
No,
would.
because
are you kidding me? The amount of money I used to make, they
Yeah,
would have came forward because
When
But they
when
know
they-
now.
like I every once in a while I get scared that like a 30-year-old's going to show up because I'm a bit older and then I'm like,
Well, at least he's out of college. You know, the paper and that shit.
right. But he's like on meth or something, and he really needs help. And I'm like, fuck, man. And you look like me, and
Right.
fuck, you kind of have the same weird sense of humor. Fuck, now I gotta help you. It scares me. Do you
No,
ever?
I would say that they would have came out of the woodwork because they would have known that you had made a lot of money.
Early satellite years, that they would have came out of the woodwork.
Yeah,
so
or
I think
even
I'm good
even
now.
the NEW days.
NEW days, yeah.
Those big contracts you guys had like before Sex and Sam, they would have saw that and go, all right, we're coming.
I believe I'm good now.
That's when they would have popped up.
right.
So, yeah, I think you're good.
I remember having sex with this girl in Rochester. She was a bit on the big side, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Some of the big ones are fun, right? Are
Yeah.
we here to say? And then I remember, like, I was living in Buffalo, and then I came back to Rochester, I don't know, a year later or whatever, and I saw her from afar with a baby carriage. And every once in a while, I wonder.
That's funny, man. I have a similar story. So I hook
Do
up.
you really?
I hook up with this waitress at one of the comedy clubs in Dallas. 6 months later, I'm playing in Houston, and she goes, "Hey, I'm gonna take." She texts me, "I'm gonna take the night off. I want to come down to Houston to see your show." And I'm like, "Okay, fine." And I'm thinking, man, what is she doing that for? And meanwhile, when I was with her, the condom broke, and I was drunk.
Whoa.
So I'm like, oh, fuck, man. She's coming down here to break me the news.
Right.
That she's pregnant. Because after that night, I'm in the morning, I'm like, oh, fuck, man, I can't believe that condom broke. I didn't even feel it. I was,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, shit, she's making this trip. I'm all nervous. And she's texting me, I'm here. I'm like, who are you coming with? I'm here by myself. I'm like, that makes it even worse.
Right.
Because if she's coming with a girlfriend, I'm like, all right, maybe they just made a road trip. I'm like, oh, fucking, I got to do a show, and it's my first time at the club.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, and I'm all nervous. I'm like, fuck, this girl's gonna break with me. And I look at her, I go, where are you sitting? She goes, oh, right of the stage. And I looked out the curtains out of the backstage, and I saw her. And this was probably, I don't know, whatever year it was, 2006 or something like that. She's sitting at the table with a drink and smoking a cigarette. I'm like, yes, yes. Smoking a cigarette, fucking drinking like this. I'm like, yes.
Oh my God, that's great.
And then I wound up banging her that night.
I was going to
It
say,
beautiful,
yeah,
of course.
You want to?
But I really thought she was coming to break me the news.
I got a story I've never told. You want to tell it? The Dallas girl.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Florentine, when I had a few years there where I was single, and it turned out me and Florentine may have had some of the same, girls here and there. And I was going down to Dallas, and this one girl, teacher, right? I think she was a teacher.
I think so, yeah.
And one thing led to another. And she invites me over to her apartment. I'm down there for like a few days. And all she would do is talk about this fucking guy and want to play this fucking guy's comedy. That fucking guy would be Jim Florentine.
Yeah, so when he gets back to her place, she just goes, you got to hear these prank calls. They're so funny. And she's playing my prank calls to him. He's known me for 15 years. I don't give a fuck. I know these calls. This isn't what this is about. We're not on the... I don't give a shit.
Oh, my
and
God.
I get tortured. I had to listen to your fucking calls for an hour
Did
and a
she
half.
play Jim Florentine's CDs while you were fucking her?
I didn't. I actually, it was sort of a turnoff, to be honest with you, because she was really obsessed with playing prank calls of Jim Florentine. I'm like, I know the fucking guy.
I know. You're like,
And that didn't even help move the ahead?
It turned out, I think she was like sort of into comedians, right? So I should be flattered because I made the list. But
Yeah,
the
I
rumor
think
was
so.
that she, there's a local club down there, and she kind of was
I-
really into comedy.
I had
Let's
to
just put-
apologize to him. Like, I'm sorry, man. I would have been annoyed, too.
And being a stupid guy filled with cum, I'm like, oh, all right, I'll listen to a few of his calls. But then it was like, oh my God, yes, I know he's good. It was one after, and did you hear this? Yes, I've heard all of them.
And, of course, I sold her the CDs. I didn't get it for free.
Did you sign them too?
Probably.
It was listening to Florentine CDs, and then I'm like, all right, I got to go. This was fun or whatever. And then I don't know if she was texting me or whatever, but she's like, I want to pick you up tomorrow morning to go to my aunt's house for Greek food and have some olives. Oof. The Greeks love their olives.
So she wanted you to, within less than 24 hours of knowing you, she wanted you to meet the family.
Oh, yeah, and then she wanted to take me back to the airport.
Isn't that freaky?
and-
Did that ever happen to you?
Well,
With anybody?
Well, some of that.
Sometimes with their friends, they want to
Friends are
bring around the
different.
friends.
All these years being in the public eye, I only dipped into the stalker world very seldomly. When I first started in radio, I did the drive-bys. When you first start out in radio, you do a lot of weekend shifts, a lot of overnight shifts, and that's the party shift. Everyone's drinking and stuff, and these girls get lonely, and they call the radio station because they think your voice is okay, although my voice was never good. And I was a kid. I would flirt with these girls, and then they would be like, yeah, what are you doing after your shift? And I'm getting off the air at 6 in the morning. I'm like, where do you live? This is all off air, obviously. And then she goes, well, I'll be at, I forget, but let's say the 7-Eleven, you
Right.
know. Oh, all right, what are you wearing? Well, I'll be wearing a blue whatever T-shirt and jeans, whatever. And I'm like, okay, so I would know what I'm looking for. And I would always say the wrong car. I used to drive a Honda Accord, but I'm like, I'm in a Chevy pickup truck. All right, I might be there at 6:15, but I'm not really sure because I might have to go home, so I'm giving myself an out, And then I would do the drive-by and see this fucking monster.
Right, yeah.
A monster in a giant blue shirt. She failed to mention giant.
Right.
She just said blue shirt.
Probably in the snack aisle.
And she doesn't even know that I'm pulling right up because it's radio. I'm pulling right up to her. She has no idea I'm 5 feet from her. And then I go into 7-Eleven, make believe I'm just there to get whatever.
Because she didn't know what you looked like. So
No,
there wasn't
not-
like pictures of you online. There was
way
no
before-
website.
before
way
websites,
before
yeah.
social
She had
media.
no idea what you looked
No,
like,
so
which
it was
is great.
It was beautiful because
Yeah.
she let it all out there, and I'm like, okay, all I had to say was the wrong car. That the Honda Accord was next to her was actually me because she wasn't looking for the Honda Accord.
My friend went on met this girl online. This was years ago on a blind date. That he didn't know what she looked like. She said she was hot or whatever. He drives from New Jersey all the way up to like Hartford, Connecticut. I don't know, like 4 hours or something in the car. He meets her. They were getting a hotel room. They already had a book. Gets there like 4:30, sees her. She weighs like 300 pounds.
Right.
He's like, what do I do? I turn around. I already paid for the hotel room. He goes, so I just got completely hammered. He goes, I want to fucking her. It was disgusting. He goes, on the way home in the morning, I left first thing in the morning. I pulled over and cried. It's the greatest story ever. I pulled over and cried.
That is wonderful, man. And I'm always scared to be with Florentine. That's why I ordered the beer before he got here. So he has no idea what was in my my glass today.
I don't want anyone to feel guilty that if they drink craft beers or whatever, or they want this, that, or they like play fantasy football. I'm like, I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, I don't want people always go, I think of you before I put ketchup on my hamburger. I go, I don't want you to. I just don't like it.
See, I'm the opposite, though. I was down in Fort Lauderdale with Brother Weeze, my mentor, and I had to meet him at a really nice Italian restaurant that a lot of gangsters go to down
By the
there.
airport.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know
man.
that place.
I get there, and I'm the opposite of you because I'll do ketchup on my hamburgers and steak and not even think twice. It used to drive Carl nuts, and I ordered the foofiest of drinks at this place in front of a bunch of gangsters, and I lifted that shit up like, that's right, motherfuckers, I'm drinking this. It was a kind of a reddish pink slushy tequila drink, and they gave you a little spoon.
Yeah.
And I gobbled that down, and I ordered a second one. That's where I'm at, Florentine. As I'm trying to sell that. Because I'm like the polar opposite of you.
I just don't want people to be.
But if you can have a drink, why suffer? It's like they're drinking straight up tequila, and I'm looking at them like, you're not enjoying that. I got some nice sugar in my drink. I got some
no, it's true.
sweet.
Straight up to tequila's nasty.
Well, that's what they were drinking. But I guarantee, the people that bitch about it at the table, I'm like, I know you want one. Just fucking get one. Put it in a regular glass
and
if
it's
it bothers you.
I don't care. Like if I'm drinking whatever, I'll just like if someone doesn't like it, I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like I was eating grilled chicken like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
I started eating healthy, and all my friends would just bust my balls.
Yeah.
So we go out there, we're grilled chicken, a piece of lettuce on the side. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Yeah, I bet you. Let me guess, no skin in the chicken. Yeah, no skin, and it would never bother me. I guess it's what I like to eat. You eat that, that's fine. I don't give a shit.
And then why does it always have to go to, what are you, a fag? I'm like, no, I'm just trying to.
It always has
I'm
to.
just trying to live past the age of 45. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but now people are they're okay with the eating healthy.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it's a
it-
fad
but
now.
I used to get abused by it because I was always eating that shit.
You comedians, that's what you're all about, man. If there's more than two of you, if someone walks in with a shirt that's a little off, you're gonna beat them up for a half
guys
hour.
I went to, I've known since first
Oh,
grade.
okay.
are
They
same
do the
way.
same shit?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You just get bombarded.
Do you think these cigars from Tim really are Cubans?
No, they're not. They just there was a
There's a label on it that says
I gotta ask.
the
Havana.
deli down the street. I'm sure had them.
I gotta ask Matty Rock. Matty Rock would know. I will
He's-
take a picture of this and ask Matty Rock. Should we get Grillo on for one last thing? Grillo, we're wrapping up. You got anything else? Yeah, man. Oh, you do?
I always got something, brother.
All right. What do you got? One last
Well,
thing.
you could check me out on Twitter.
Oh, I don't mean that. I mean
what-
actual content.
What kind of content?
And then if you give me something,
I got my. What do you want to know, man? I got stories up the ass. You want to know how I saved Howard's life? So I
do I have to say allegedly?
No, it's not allegedly. It's 100% true.
Really?
Yeah, it was. So I used to pick him up every morning, and I was 600 Madison. So there was two entrances. There was the one on the side where the garbage came in.
Why did you pick him up? Where was
Well,
Ronnie?
I would come early,
Yeah.
and Ronnie would call me, and I'd go downstairs, and I'd.
Well, that's not picking him up. You just
Well,
let him in the
I'd
front
go down
door.
and let him in the building.
Oh, okay.
So
That's a little different.
So, there was the front of the building, and then there was the side entrance. And I was usually get there and make sure sometimes people there, they wanted autographs, blah, 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 blah. So I'd get there, and I'd tell Ronnie to either come in the front or the back. So I get there one day, and I was, like, hungover from being at Scores, of course. I got, like, 2 hours sleep, but I thought I was going to be late. I beat Ronnie there, and there was a car sitting right in front of 600 Madison. So I went upstairs. Ronnie called, and I said, yo, bring him around the back. And, of course, angry Ronnie was like, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm just about to pull up. I was like, bring him around the back, Ronnie. There's a car parked in front. I don't know what the fuck.
So you saw the car and you thought
I saw
it
the
might
car,
be-
and I made the
okay.
call. Go around and go to the back entrance. The big gate would come up. It was basically where they pick up the garbage.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
If a limo had to come in or something. And so now he huffs and moans, and now the gate goes up. And now whoever was in the car figured out that there was 2 entrances, and they were standing on the corner. So now the limo pulls up, and Howard gets out, and the guy in the corner goes, Howard Stern, you motherfucker, I'm gonna fucking kill you! And he starts running full speed towards Howard and me and Ronnie. Howard was like a deer in the headlights, just stood there like, didn't know what to do. I grabbed Howard, and now there was the gate, and then there was the door to get in the building after you get past that long thing. So I grabbed Howard, and I said, run! And I push him towards the door. And as I get to the door, right before I shut the door, Ronnie sort of catches the guy as the gate went, because I was screaming to the security guard at the same time, shut the gate! Shut the fucking gate! And Ronnie grabs the guy as the gate's still going down. So I don't know if the guy got away from Ronnie or anything. So I'm holding the door, and I'm like, Howard, just get in the fucking elevator. Get out of here. And so Howard's like, and so
Did his
he
wig
runs,
fall off?
He runs. Oh, jeez. I think it might have still been his hair at the time. So he runs, and then I hold the door until I hear the gate go down, and I kind of peek, and Ronnie had stopped the guy at the gate. And now I get to the hallway, and fucking Howard's sitting there with his fucking gun out. And he's like, oh, I was like, yo, put that away. Put it away. We got him. He's outside. He goes, oh, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? I was like, Howard, I don't know. That's why I told Ronnie to come in on the side entrance. And we go upstairs, and we're both like shaking, and we got into the door, to K-Rock, and he was like, shit, Ronnie. I go, fuck Ronnie. So now at that point, like, there used to be the marshals used to like hang out. That was their spot. They'd get coffee. They'd start the day. The marshals used to park on the corner,
Yeah.
maybe to watch Howard, or that was their starting point. So I come downstairs to check on Ronnie. The marshals got the guy in handcuffs with a shotgun on top of the car and like
Come
12
on.
shells
Come on.
laid out. Swear to God. He lived in Albany. Howard just got canceled in Albany, and he was so mad that Howard did nothing to fight him getting canceled that he was going to kill him.
He was mad that Howard wasn't on the radio in
Yeah,
Albany
but
anymore.
Howard didn't fight because he got canceled in Albany.
Did this make the papers at the
It
time?
was very quiet. It was very quiet. Like all we got was.
Well, you didn't see him take the shotgun out. like,
No,
when he
I didn't know he
was
had a shot. But if Howard would have pulled up to
But
the
didn't
front
Ronnie,
of the building,
didn't Ronnie didn't have a gun on him that would
I
stop
don't-
him? the
well, no, but
security
it
guard?
doesn't make a difference. If I would have didn't tell him to go on the side of the building that day, if he would have pulled in, the shotgun was in the front seat.
Right.
So he wouldn't have had much. He didn't like. He had that moment where do I run back and get the shotgun, or do I just attack Howard by myself? The car
Okay.
was too far away.
Right.
So, but if Howard would have pulled in the front that day, he would have had the shotgun on his lap and probably would have fucking blown him
Oh,
away.
okay, the shotgun was still in the car.
The
wasn't
Stalker
on
was in
him.
the car.
Okay,
He didn't
right,
have it outside the car.
And the stalker was expecting you guys to go in the front door.
Yes. Yes, he was expecting. So if I didn't tell Ronnie to come around the back way that day, things might be a little different.
There,
What
there's
if he
still,
would have missed the guy?
Well, then things would have been kind of different.
there is an extra step there where maybe the guy was thinking all this, but in the end, maybe wouldn't
Well,
have.
no one's going to know. All
We'll
I
never
can tell
know,
you
right.
is the guy had a loaded shotgun in the front seat of the car and was waiting for Howard to pull up to the radio station.
Wow.
And I had to testify in front of a grand jury.
Wow, it went that.
Yeah.
Why was this so quiet? I don't think this.
Well,
ever,
because you
ever
don't want to
got
get
out.
people, you don't want to inspire people.
Yeah, of course.
So,
So whatever happened to the guy?
oh, well, he was, obviously there was a lot of, you know how much the cops love Howard. So that guy was in the tombs for a very long time. He disappeared. He got sentenced to the full extent of the law. He, was done everything. Well, how that works, no one ever heard from the guy again.
And have you ever told this story before? Oh, you have?
I
Wow.
think I saw this on a Law and Order Criminal Intent. I think that Fisher Stevens was the host and Ken Dashow was the
Ken
What-
Dashow. Oh my God!
was
There's
the,
a name
was
for
the
past.
producer. But now Grillo, because I've shadowed talent before, you just pushed Howard in the elevator and went back for Ronnie.
I once we got upstairs and I knew Howard was safe inside that plastic, inside the K-Rock security. I went back down to make sure Ronnie was okay.
That's what you sent an intern for. Your job is to stay with the talent until the cops get there. And you're supposed to jump in front of the bullet.
Yeah.
You know what? To be honest with you, I would have jumped in front of the bullet without question.
Now, I ended up sitting technically in Howard's seat when he left K-Rock, and David Lee Roth failed, and then they came back to get me and Anthony to try to save K-Rock. After they hurt our career for 2 years and 3 months, now they like us again because they needed us. And in that big studio that you've been in a million times, they said that he had that.
Well, it was at 40 West 57th. This was at 600 Madison.
They said that giant window in that studio. We opened up, or maybe David Lee Roth opened up, and they said, yeah, it has a gorgeous view, but Howard would not allow that window to not be covered because he was scared of people maybe doing some shit.
I was there personally when
So this wasn't at.
Well, you're
is
talking
at
about 40
600 Madison
This
Avenue.
was
I
at
was on-
600 Madison, but at 40
talking
West
about-
57th Street, I didn't even know that they had windows there because
I
everything
see.
was closed in.
Oh wait, but you've been in that studio.
Yeah, I was there the first day.
They have
I
a
was-
giant, gorgeous window.
I had no idea.
And some of the old timers told us that Howard had that all covered because he was so paranoid.
He's a lot better now, but there were points where we just had to go around the corner from Sony because we were going to see a movie screening, and there was too much traffic to take the limo, and we had to walk 2-3 blocks, and he was just like, the guy's looking at me. Who is he? He was because he said a lot of crazy shit on the air, it pissed people off.
Yeah.
And people, they either get overexcited when they see him, or they want to go, hey, fuck you, you stupid big nose motherfucker, and he doesn't like confrontation outside his comfort zone, and who doesn't? He basically, he would, but now apparently he's a lot more at ease in the public. But back when I was there, this is at the height of his fuck you, well, I'm going to say what I want, rock star kind of attitude. It was walking down the block was an issue. And plus, not for nothing, he's 6'5" with long hair and a big nose. He's walking down the block. People just see him. No, but you look up and it's you can't,
And then also, if you
That
bring
voice
a gun,
is
you
Steve
bring a gun
Grillo's,
in
by
New
the
York
way.
City, you get 3 years in jail, like Plaxico Burress.
Sure.
So there's a lot. I'm sure there's a lot less guns now.
Well, that's a hell of a story, Grillo. I want to thank Jim Florentine. This was absolutely awesome. Thanks,
Yeah,
buddy.
man. Thanks.
Really appreciate it. And thanks to Matt from Gebhard, and, of course, Robert from, Robert, my friend. Let's just put it that way.
Robert from Opie Radio.
There you go. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.